Welcome back to Allied Bullies TV. And today we are here with a man that needs no introduction. He has been on the show before. The dog plug is back.
Thanks for having me.
What's going on, man? I just mentioned that show coming
Hmm.
up this, well, I'm gonna say fall, September 21st,
Yeah.
2024. Do you plan on being in attendance at that show?
Yes, sir.
You were in attendance at the last show that was here at the IX Center,
Oh
correct?
yeah, yeah. I took trademark out there, got him some exposure.
Okay. Well, let's dive straight in.
Okay.
Over the last 2 weeks or so, you have been posting a lot of old pictures from far back as 2011 and older,
Hmm.
kind of showing your history in the dog game. You definitely gave me a history lesson.
Right.
It was a lot of things I was seeing that I wasn't even privy to. So I got a history lesson as well.
Hmm.
How important is it for you to make sure that up and coming breeders and also breeders that have been breeding for a while to know the history of some of the originators of these bully breed style of dogs in the city of Cleveland and surrounding areas?
I feel it's very important. I feel like a lot of guys that were around in the beginning have been, overlooked due to social media and new guys getting in. They just get captivated by whoever's got the flashiest car on Instagram that might be on the West Coast or something like that, and assume based on the material things that these guys are seeing on social media, they assume, oh, that must be the OG, that must be the you know what I mean? The kingpin, and that's not always the case. So um, just knowing that the history within your own city, and how the culture was, how did the game originate to where it is now is it's just good to really know the backstory of it all. So
All right, speaking on history, who did you buy your first bully from, and how did you find this person or this kennel?
excellent question. So the way I found the breeder that I got my first dog from, it was a coincidence. Back then, when I started searching for my bully stock, I think it was like '09 when I think that was back when Andre 3000 and those guys were doing their thing. They were in those magazines down in North Carolina and shit. And I was searching, and the only thing that was around, it wasn't a Hoobly back then. It wasn't like a puppy find, wasn't really popping for bullies back then, anything. You basically had to go in the plain dealer. You had to get actual newspaper, or you could go on cleveland.com sometimes, and you go to the classified section, and then it would have a section for pets. And I would say when I was searching, it wasn't but about three guys actually breeding the bullies that I was looking for back then, and they were running ads in the paper. And you had Dog Pound Tony. Shout out to Dog Pound Tony, Anthony Shelton. He a OG. He been doing this a long, long time. He's right in Cleveland. You had Daniel London, rest in peace, Daniel London. He owned Grimlock Kennels. He was the manager over there at a Value City furniture store out there in Willoughby. He passed away. Me and him did some business. He invested in one of my studs, and he was one of my first clients when I bought my stud Maserati from Carlos Agala in California. Daniel saw something in my stud, even though he was already breeding. He saw that what I brought over here was something he can incorporate in his program. And me and him did business, and he took off with that blood for a minute, but unfortunately, he passed away. So rest in peace, Grimlock Kennels. And then the guy that I actually bought my dog from was Dejan Baskin. His name's on Instagram is like Mr. Prolific. I'll tag him in your videos on Instagram once you post them. But when I was searching that day, I went in the newspaper, and I was young back out. I'm 30, about to be 38 right now, but back then I was in my early 20s, and I had the bread. I'm just like me. I'm very aggressive when I want something. I get tunnel vision in and just got to get it done right then and there. So I'm looking through the newspaper, and actually, Dog Pound Tony, I called him first in the newspaper. He didn't pick up the phone. He might have been busy at the moment that I called him. So then I saw the next guy. It was Grimlock Kennels. Grimlock Kennels said, "Hey, what's going on? I'm at work. I won't be able to see you until tomorrow after 6." And then the third guy called and answered, and that was Dejon Baskin. So he answered. He said, "Man, pull up on me." You know what I mean? I pulled up on him, got over there. He had dogs all over the place. You know what I mean? Very aggressive, and with his breeding program, and young dude like me and him was. I think me and John like the same age and shit. He was friends with Dog Pound Bully Stoney, so he was Dog Pound probably was his OG, I would say. But John was very young, very aggressive in his approach with breeding too, and I bought my dog from him, and I already came in with a lot of knowledge on dog breeding from the other breeds I focused on too. So John, we wound up being kennel partners for a minute or whatever. But we can go on into that, as the story, goes on. But yeah, John was the first person I bought my dog from. But had Dog Pound Bullies answered the phone, I probably would have dealt business with Dog Pound Bullies first. But we wound up actually doing business a few times over the past 15 years or so. And I actually bred to his stud DMX back in 2022 and made some fire. You know what I mean? So again, shout out to Dog Pound Tony. You know what I mean? He been doing this thing. Definitely an OG in the city.
All right, now I know you mentioned a few guys, just now. Are there any other Cleveland breeders, if any, that also played a part in your legacy that you like to shout out? And what impact have these individuals had on your program?
Yeah, yeah, I'm all about, giving love. I'm never the type that's gonna, what I mean, dim another breeder's light to just so mine can shine. So if somebody that's even breeding the same style of dog as me, I don't look at them as competition. So I would say one of my guys, Jimmy JDA Bullies on Instagram, he actually invested in my exotic program, 13, 14 years ago. Rest in peace, Lexus. He had a dude named Lex that when Jimmy was looking to get in, Lex referred him to me, and Lex brought him over to meet me. And Jimmy bought some dogs for me when I was doing my thing, getting my momentum. And he went on over the years to start making some insane dogs here right here in the city. He don't mind spending money, going out of town, breaking bread. He do everything by the book. And over the years, I've actually got females have went back to breed the Jimmy's studs that he personally made. Armani, his stud he made named Armani. I've some of my top females that I sometimes post on my Instagram are Armani daughters. So because Jimmy and you know what I mean, I could have bred the dogs all over the country, but if you right here in the city, you got what I can build off of, and I know that you put money in my pocket that I was able to feed my children with, I'm going to reciprocate, and do business with you. You know what I mean? And I want more breeders in the city to try to do the same thing. If you know what I mean, if you got a guy in the city that's got what you can work with, and he's invested in you, just put some money. But y'all can y'all can cook up with each other. You know what I mean? So yeah, Jimmy's one of the guys. Dog Pound Bullies Tony. I've worked with some of his blood, and like I said, some of my top girls have come from the breeding I did with his stud DMX, and he's right here in the city. Um, there's many others. I got some breeders that's got some of my trademark offspring right now. They've invested and showcased my productions and stuff too. So I'll be shouting them out as they send me their trademark offspring in the near future. But yeah, just so we don't waste too much time, I would say JDA Bullies is one of them. He was one of the first in the beginning to invest, and I've invested back with him too. So y'all go follow him and do some good business with him. He got some good dogs over there. So
Yeah,
yeah.
me and JDA Bullies have had a small conversation,
Okay.
behind the scenes and DMs on Instagram,
Yep.
and I plan on bringing him on the show real soon.
Oh yeah.
Whenever he could, get time to fit us in his schedule, but we
Yep.
definitely gonna bring him on the show.
Yep.
Um, Now, given the fact that you have been around and been in the dog game for quite some time, what are some of the craziest stories you can remember when it comes to these dogs?
Man, I got so many stories, and some stuff almost ended ugly. Um, One of them actually, Jimmy was with. I do dog photography in the city, and I posted a dude on my Instagram earlier. That video with that dude that had his hand wrapped
Yeah,
up. Top Line Kennels, Vinny. His name Vincent Romero on Facebook. So I was doing photo shoots, and you know that McDonald's right on 222nd in Euclid. It's got that big hill up at the top, and everybody's sledding.
right,
It was this time of year, like back in 2013, tax season. Vinny had called me a couple days before. Me and Jimmy already had a photo shoot lined up with a couple of my productions he got from me. That we were gonna go up to that park and take, had them on this slope, and I was gonna get the picture. So Vinny Top Line Kennels, he said, "Man, I just bought this crazy XL from Colorado or somewhere. I need a photo shoot before I even post him on Facebook. I need the money." I used to call my pictures the money shots. So you're like, "Man, I need the money shot before I even post him on social media, bro. We can get this in tomorrow." I said, "Well, cool." It was like a Friday. I said, "Cool. First thing tomorrow, we're gonna get it in." I said, "Jimmy coming." They all knew each other. So I'm like, "Jimmy already bringing a couple dogs, so we all gonna meet up there at 10 o'clock. It's snow all up on the hill and everything." Um, so me, Jimmy, Vinny, and all of his cousins and stuff, we all meet there. I'm flicking up dogs, but then Vinny got this all white XL. He bought it grown. I'm talking Vinny only, like you saw his picture. He probably
right.
only like 90 to 100 pounds, and he get this fucking XL that's like the XL like 110s. Vinny take his coat off. He wanted the dog all white. Vinny got on all white Dickies pants, all white Air Forces. We standing in snow and shit. White T-shirt. It's 10 degrees outside. I'm taking pictures. I'm down on the knee. I'm down there so long, my body heat then melted the snow around me. So I'm in the mud. I'm taking pictures, but I like all my pictures to be tack sharp. I need the eyes to be tack sharp. So his dog keep moving. Vinny behind him with a choke collar on. He trying to get the dog named Chico. He like, "Chico, stand still." I'm like getting him, and I'm looking at my camera. I say almost, but he moved his muzzle just a little bit. So Vinny like, "Chico, stand still, stand still." He keep choking at him, and man, the Chico turned around. Like I said, we on the top of it. You know how that hill is real steep.
Right.
It's kids to the left of us. They sledding and shit. They going down. Woo, woo, woo. I got a little 38. My wife granddad passed away, and her grandma gave her this 38 special. It was a 38 Colt Cobra. And I used to carry that in my pocket, you know what I mean, when I'd be doing little photo shoots and shit. So I got the 38 special in my pocket. I'm down, I'm taking pictures. Vinny like, "Chico, stand still." He get it mad because now Vinny getting cold because he took his coat and shit off. He ain't think this photo shoot supposed to take this long. So I finally get the shot, and I'm gonna post the shot. It's a beautiful shot I got of his dog. But right after I got the shot, he wanted a couple more. Like he wanted to put his head, have his chain out or something. So he did it one more, and Chico turned around, and because Vinny had the choke chain wrapped, I mean the collar and the leash wrapped all up his wrist. Chico turned around and started grabbing Vinny on the wrist and shaking him. They go tumbling down the hill. Like I said, JDA Bullies was there. He right beside me. Vinny and the dog go tumbling down the hill, man. You just see blood, like he got all white on, man. The dog then ripped Vinny's wrist open. Like you see his hand wrapped up on that picture. He done ripped his wrist open, his blood and skin flapping and shit. The dog shaking him up on the hill. Now Vinny down at the bottom of the hill, he backing up. The dog then pinned Vinny's chest into the hill as Vinny trying to back up the hill to get away, bro. I look at Jimmy. I say, bro, I got to go help him. I take my camera off my neck, hand it to Jimmy. Jimmy at the top. Jimmy can tell you everything that happened word for word. I go down the hill. You remember on Bad Boys 2, how in a minefield when Martin did the little roll and shot Johnny Tappy in the head? I go down the hill and I'm going so fast because I'm like heavier back then. I was like 300 something pounds. So, man, I'm going down. I get down, I lose my footing, and I go do the little flip just like how Martin Lawrence did on Bad Boys. And after I do the front roll, I go in my pocket and pull the 38 out. And you know, on my 38 special, it's got double action. So I was able to put the hammer in single action so that first shot was real smooth. So boom, Vinny getting attacked. The dog like pinning, about to grab Vinny on the throat. I say, Vinny, you got to stand still, bro. You got to stand still. I'm trying to shoot the dog off of Vinny. I'm right next to him laying I'm on my knee, like in the mud, right next to him getting attacked. Wow. I say, Vinny, you got to stand still, bro. You got to stand still. Vinny was like, do it. Like he stood still long enough. I had that motherfucker in single action. And I said, stop. I'm yelling at the dog. The dog eyes rolled in his back of his head. You just saw black. The dog lets go of him and lounges at me. Jimmy and them right at the top of the, I'm telling you, Jimmy was right there, saw everything. I had that bitch in single action. The dog eyes rolling back in. He opened up his mouth and lounged at me, bruh. Boom, boom. So the first shot was single action. So it was a nice, smooth shot. Shot him right through the mouth, blew his head out. The next shot, boom, like hit him in the muzzle. The dog jaw lands on my foot in the mud, man. There's kids and shit running, everything. Vinny tore up, blood all in the mud and shit. And I got the video of on Jimmy's. I think I saw Jimmy Page. He got the video from way back when he like, my dude just had to shoot this dog to save this dude's life. Vinny and them take off, and you know Bishop Road University Hospital right up at top of Bishop Road in Chardon.
Yep.
By the dollar movies. Vinny like, man, thank you, bro. You saved my life, man. They took off and left me and Jimmy behind. So me and Jimmy still got his dog staked at the top of the hill. The dead dog dead. And I had my concealed carry and stuff. I was teaching gun classes back then too. So I had to call the police because I'm like, man, these parents about to call and say a dude out here shooting around.
Right.
So I called first. I called 911 and said, yeah, they said, what area, what do you need? Fire or whatever. I said, I need the police. I just had to shoot a dog. I had to dispatch a dog. He was attacking a gentleman at this park right behind McDonald's on 222nd. I said, I'm standing right here. I described what I got on. So when they pulled up, they wouldn't have been thinking me and Jimmy were no threat. So they pulled up. I had to, tell them I had my gun on me and everything. And then the cop, it was a black cop and a white cop. The white cop must have been new. White cop told him to go get, the black cop told the white cop, go get that dog from over there, take the bags out my trunk, drag him around and, bag him up. And the black cop like, hand me your gun so I can, run it. Mind you, I got a revolver. It's got 5 rounds in the cylinder. I done shot 2, so it's still 3 rounds in the cylinder. So I say, officer, I have the guns loaded in my pocket. Jimmy right there. I said, the gun's loaded in my pocket. I say, I feel more comfortable if you take the gun off. The cop like, man, just hand me the gun, bro. I said, sir, I don't feel comfortable. Like, why? Who can hand a cop a loaded gun? Now, if I pull that bitch out of my pocket and the barrel might be pointed at you on the muzzle,
and it go
now
off.
you go shoot me. Like, I said, bro, I don't feel comfortable. The cop get mad. Black cop like, man, just get up against the truck. He had the little Explorer truck out there, and the Euclid trucks, they like them Explorers. They're like, put your hands up against the car. So the cop went in my pocket and snatched my gun out, went in his passenger door, did something, bagged the gun and the bullets up, and he handed the shit back and was like, don't load this up till we leave. And then he handed me a Ziploc bag with my gun and shit. And he left, and me and Jimmy, we talked about the situation for a minute. And before Vinny and them, let Vinny was like, I'm gonna take care of you, bro. Let me get out this hospital. It's tax season. I'm thinking Vinny about to come break me off like some bread. Like he probably got 10 racks back. He just spent a couple racks on the bully. I say, man, I just saved this nigga life. Vinny was dead if I ain't do what I did. Vinny had no, it was no escaping that dog. That dog was not tired. It was ripping that nigga to shreds. He pull up later that day. I think Jimmy's still at my house and shit. Vinny pull up. This nigga pull out a knot. I'm talking about a big knot of money. My eyes get big. I say, oh, this is my lucky day. This nigga peel off a 20 and a 10 and hand me $30, man. I'm like, I dap him up or whatever and take off. But I was mad. I say, man, I didn't save your life, nigga. You done gave me $30. So yeah, Vinny, you could have took care of a brother behind that. But it's all good, man. It's all good.
That's
Yeah, but yeah, Jimmy can
definitely
verify everything. He was literally at the top of the hill watching me go down, watching me shoot the dog. He was there the whole time. So anything I speak on, I'm gonna speak on shit that somebody can verify. So y'all want to know the truth? Did it happen? How it happened? Did I go down the hill like Martin on Bad Boys and shoot that dog? JDA can verify. So
that's definitely a crazy
that's
story.
one. And then another one, the dude I told you that I bought my first dog from, Johnny, Mr. Prolific. He brought. I was doing AIs back in like 2010. He brings over two kennel dude, like these two dudes. I don't want to mention their name to stir up nothing, but y'all can hit Mr. Prolific up. Dog Pound Tony's and them probably heard about the story. But yeah, anyway, John brings these two dudes. I'm doing AIs for 150 at my mama house back then in the driveway. He pull up, me and John kennel partners somewhat at the time. He bring me two dudes like they need an AI. I said, tell them 150, boom, boom, boom. But I'm bigger back then. I'm like real, professional, like not talking no slang. So people reading me wrong and shit. So anyway, I do the AI. I'm like acting like I'm a vet tech and shit. All yeah. So yeah, give it 63 days. The dog will be pregnant. So I ain't thinking they reading me and shit the whole time. So I get done with the AI. These dudes got a camera from Walgreens around their neck. I'm like, why they bringing the camera? They know I do photography. I ain't think nothing of it. So I get done with the AI. I'm taking my gloves and shit off. Like, keep y'all dog upside down when y'all take her to the car. I said, who taking care of the balance? We in the driveway. They stud dog still inside my gate in the driveway. My kennel partner at the time, John, he at the end of my driveway. I'm all the way at the back. One kennel partner is behind me, and the other kennel partner is up against my house in front of me. The dude that I'm, been in communication with, thinking he paying me to get the camera. So I'm like, who taking care of this $150 balance? I got a 380 Bursa. I got my wife's little 380 Bursa. When I'm doing AIs, I just need something small on me. So I got her little 380 Bursa Thunder in my right pocket. So they like, the dude like, I feel like we can pay you with this camera. You do photography and shit. My blood immediately get boiling. Like, I'm like, I say a camera. I say, bro, we said 150 over the phone. I didn't put the sperm in the bit. I can't take nothing back. Like the
Right.
dog is, the breeding is complete. I say, we said 150 over the phone. I don't need that camera. Dude, like, bro, you gonna have to take this camera. So now I'm like, these dudes just came to my house. I done did a breeding. They didn't read me wrong. Like they think shit sweet. John right here. So now I'm mad. My blood boiling. Like, man, you brought these dudes over here. No, and y'all rolled together too. So like this all playing out within a matter of like 60 to 100, like 2 minutes. All this shit take place. Dude, like you gonna have to take this camera. I said, nigga, I'm not taking that camera. Like You ain't getting your like y'all about to pay. Y'all about to pay that 150, dude. Like, nigga, I ain't about to pay shit. He come out his shirt, like he trying to take his shirt off. His shirt gets stuck over his head. He trying to pull that bitch off in my driveway. Mind you, you ain't paying me. You done took your shirt off to square up. I hear, I'm on the drive. My driveway is concrete, but it's got a couple little pebbles on the concrete. So when he go to take his shirt off, I hear some gravel behind me, like my drive. I hear some gravel. Dude behind me, his partner trying to steal on me or something. As soon as I hear the gravel, because I got concrete, so I hear the gravel, like he must be trying to cock and get a position. So I up the 380, I duck, I back up as far as I can. I say, get y'all bitch asses up against the motherfucking house. My dude, my kennel partner John, right there, Mr. Prolific on Instagram. I say, get y'all bitch ass up against how y'all niggas trying to rob me. Y'all niggas think shit sweet. Y'all think shit sweet. It was a Sunday. My mama just came home from church. She yelling out the window, Marcus, you ain't got to do this. You ain't got to do this. He like, man, you going to do this on a Sunday? You going to do this on a Sunday, man? Listen to your mama, bro. You going to do this on a Sunday? I say, you niggas y'all trying to jump me? Y'all didn't rob me? Y'all trying to jump me too? Y'all think shit sweet? Man, you gonna do this on the money, man? Them niggas back down the driveway. My kennel partner John, they walked. They had parked their car way down the street. Like it was all these parking spots in front of my house. But at the time, I ain't observing and analyzing what's really going on. I ain't that street smart yet. I'm like, okay, they did that, so that way, in case they already had this plan that this is how this was gonna go, so they ain't want to park that close for maybe cameras or I don't know what their reason it was. But anyway, they get to the bottom of the driveway. My mama talked me out of it. Like, Marcus, I will give you the money. Like, you ain't got to do this. You ain't got to do this. He walking all the way, putting his shirt back on. They get to the car. They get in the car. I go grab some bigger, artillery because I'm like, they didn't went to the car and they sitting. I go get my big artillery. Fuck this burst of thunder. Like they about to come and you know what I mean? It's about to be some real live action. So next thing you know, they don't get out the car. All my neighbors out. John, my kennel partner, gets out of the car with him, walks back to me. He laughing as he come back. He get back to me like, bruh, man, you wild as fuck, bruh. Like this shit crazy, man. You a funny nigga. Boom, boom, boom. And he hand me the 150 and he take they stud dog that's still back in my driveway and unhooks it and takes it off. I said, man, don't bring them bitch ass niggas back to my house no more, bro. Like, and from that moment, I stopped being like how I be trying, I be professional when I have to be, but I start realizing, man, these Cleveland dudes, you be too professional, they think shit sweet. I say they think shit sweet. You gotta find a happy medium between being too nice because they will take you as being somebody they could take advantage of. I performed the AI. I did what I was supposed to do. And y'all already had premeditated in your head that y'all weren't gonna pay me. Y'all sized me up, all shit was sweet. And y'all knew y'all ain't had that, y'all wasn't about to give me that 150 when y'all pulled up. So me and John stopped, I started branching away from him because I'm like, bro, you rode in the same car with them. Why would you bring somebody to my house knowing that that's what's their intentions to play me? So for like a week straight, bro. Every time police came down my street, I'm like, man, I started getting, you know what I mean? Like I'm like, man, they didn't told the police like I'm about to go to jail. Like they about to say I didn't, up the strap on them and they ain't do, you know what I mean? I was real paranoid, but police never came knocking on my door. And so it was basically a dead incident behind that. But yeah, those were probably two, the dog and then that, and then it's been plenty other stories. But that was where I really learned that you can't be too professional up here because people up here are opportunists. I was the most professional person in the city, you know what I mean, trying to provide great service. And these dudes will read you wrong and try to take advantage of a good person. And it just turn you into, I mean, you do this shit long enough, you know what I mean? And how many people I done dealt with, and I deal with guys that don't want to go to the vet. I deal with the killers in Cleveland, the dope boys. I deal with the slick talk. I've dealt with every type of individual is in Cleveland. I done heard all of the little, the game they try to run on you and shit, but I stay firm and I'm always, I'll be by myself, but it's a mutual respect that they know I'm gonna deliver what they're paying for. It ain't nobody looking for me for, you know what I mean? I deliver, and that's what they respect. And then the ones that don't respect it, they just mad because I got the motion. But you've done business with me. I
Correct.
try to be as do it as professional as possible without somebody, you know what I mean, preying on me like, oh yeah, he green, we can get over on him. And that's my only fear with this dog shit is people they'll read you wrong sometimes. So yeah, that's Cleveland for you in a nutshell.
It's unfortunate that someone like yourself who's providing a service
Yeah,
for people out here, to make money or produce dogs
yeah,
that they want to produce, that you can't be all the way professional. Like, if some of these same people would go to a veterinarian clinic, they're not going to go in that vet and act the same way that
yeah,
they're going to act with you.
yeah,
And that's very unfortunate that people of our own kind want to choose to go that kind of route and
yeah,
do these type of things instead of taking advantage
yeah,
of what's in front of them and being able to move forward and utilize your services. Because like you said, I had got services from you before,
right,
and we had zero issues.
yeah,
You told me what it was, what the price is,
yeah,
or what da 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 da. You explained everything down to me to a T.
right,
How to do this, the aftercare,
yeah,
everything, and I was completely satisfied.
yeah,
um something that a lot of people outside of dog breeding may not know is that dog breeding is very, very competitive.
yes,
Similar to sports like basketball or football, and whenever competition is involved, unfortunately, sometimes things can get physical.
yeah.
Were there any other physical altercations that you could remember that came from dog breeding?
I feel like it was some close calls. I mean, like I said, man, I used to teach concealed carry classes and stuff, so you know what I mean. I couldn't really act a certain way per se when I needed, when I, shouldn't have let certain things slide. It was a couple incidents that I had to let slide just because I was, in the position I was in with my career. Concealed carry, like instructor can't knock somebody out. It conceal, you're gonna be on the news right away. All your student's license will be in question because the instructor's integrity is now in question. So I had to really let a couple incidents slide that could have turned nasty. But for the most part, I kind of read the room a little quickly now, and I can kind of catch on to if the vibe is going to get out of hand before I even do business with somebody. Now, somebody hit me up for services or whatever. First thing I'm asking them is who referred you to me. Now you say, okay, Allied Bullies or somebody referred me to you. I'm gonna say, all right, give me a couple minutes. Let me just make a quick phone call. I'm gonna call you, say, hey, what's up, Ally? Such and such said you sent him to me. Is he gonna be an issue or? And you gonna be like, oh no, he cool people. Boom, boom, boom. I went to school with him. You ain't gonna have no problems. I call him and reassure him how you like doing, and I'll go ahead and feel comfortable doing. Now, if you say, man, I don't know that dude like that, that's on you if you want to deal with it. Now I'm gonna, you know what I mean, do a quick assessment on like, are you gonna be able? If I look on your Instagram page and you holding guns and looking like you just about to be a motherfucking headache,
Not to
I'm gonna
cut
hit you.
you off,
Yep,
but it's funny what you just said,
yeah,
because since we started the show,
right,
it's been a few people that has gotten me and you confused.
okay,
Whereas,
right,
I don't know if it's because you was on the first interview,
yeah,
and I didn't have people jump in my DM and say, "Hey, you do this or you do that," and I say, "No." That's not me.
Right.
That's the bully clinic.
Right. Right.
And
Right.
I had to, send them your Instagram.
Okay.
And I don't know if people that went over there and, uh, set up business
They
with you or
might have
not. But,
scanned it, but they ain't
like
said
I
nothing
said, but
directly.
yeah, that did happen a few times
Yeah.
though. But yeah.
Yeah.
Um, as adults and with younger people coming up and aspiring to maybe one day be a dog breeder, in your opinion,
Mm-hmm.
how should breeders settle their beefs without things getting physical and maybe someone getting hurt?
Man, to be honest, I actually considered that it's an Instagram page called Street Boxing, and I guess they let people handle their beefs. You know what I mean, through the Street Boxing network. They right here in Cleveland. Suppose they got a ring, gloves. I feel like that would be good, man. But I just like some people so prideful. I feel like, man, if somebody they try to build a reputation up some kind of way, and I call them out into a boxing match or and get the best of them, and I feel like I'm gonna be looking over my shoulder, man, because I know how I get. If I get, you know what I mean, I'm gonna try to humiliate you, and then it's gonna be I'm gonna have to look over my shoulder every time I come outside. So you got to be mature enough to be able to admit when you're wrong, and sometimes just a quick phone call, you know what I mean, like, hey bro, this happened, I don't agree with you saying this, I don't agree with you saying that, and y'all can resolve that issue over a quick phone call. I've learned from my younger days when I was in my early 20s, I did a lot of that texting and stuff. And the text can be come off wrong. Whereas if you made that same phone call, you guys might still be friends today. But because that text, somebody can read a text a certain way and just assume you being disrespectful, and y'all would never talk again. And I then took an approach of actually calling somebody, and me and them will be friends to this, still to this day after potentially falling out. You know what I mean? So I feel like just try to get on the phone if you can't do it face to face, and seeing if it's a possibility to get on the same page, man. But just Cleveland in general, I feel like everybody, it's like this big bucket, and you know what I mean. It's crabs in a bucket, and then you got some guys that's fighting their hardest to get out of that bucket, and then you got guys just pulling at your shoestrings trying to get you back down in there. So um, you can't have that crab in a bucket mentality up here, man. You gotta want to see other breeders in the city win. They laughing and they looking at us because all the other states, you see breeders collabing. It's two, three breeders on the same street, and they using each other's dogs. They're shouting each other out. Cleveland, man, these guys will shout a guy out in California who's only taking their money and don't give dog shit about them. And somebody that's right here in the city that's trying their hardest to help you win, you don't want to shine no attention in their direction because you're afraid your little pile of clients might say, oh, damn, he just shouted Marcus Bully Clinic, the dog plug. Let me go see what this guy about. They're afraid they'll lose their clients' attention by mentioning you. So a lot of Cleveland breeders will get overlooked. You know what I mean? I feel like it's some breeders up here that's going in the same direction as me with my program, and I don't never feel threatened by them because I feel like as long as you put out good work and do good with your dogs and make calculated moves, your kennel is destined to win regardless of what the next man is doing. You know, I can shout out some breeders in the city right now. I mean, I mentioned last interview about Poppy Swisher. You know what I mean? He made my stud trademark that I got over. A lot of these guys' egos too big. They don't want to say, "Oh, somebody in my city made my stud." But you would shout out a guy off of Cali, and you know what I mean, for selling you a stud. People in the city, everybody want to be the man up here. It takes takes a lot of maturity to be willing to give people in the city their flowers. You know what I mean? Just like I mentioned, Dog Pound Bullies Tony. You know what I mean? When I was younger, immature, me and him used to have differences and stuff like that. But as I matured, self reflecting and realized a lot of shit that was going on was stuff that I caused on my own, just being arrogant and stuff, trying to be like, oh, I'm about to shut the city down. I'm about to shut the city down. No, you don't want to put a target on your back like that, just acting like you the only, one rolling. I shout guys out all the time. You know what I mean? Me and JDA Bullies, you know what I mean? Me and him been knowing each other 10, 15 years. We didn't have some disagreements every few times, but I mean, at the end of the day, I always will give him, his flowers. I didn't. Me and him getting having a disagreement. I'm not gonna sell all of the blood that I got from him just because. No, you made some good dogs. I can cook up with that, and you know what I mean. We still gonna keep moving. You know what I mean. Poppy Swisher, he made trademark. I'm gonna keep cooking up with him, but It's what you build off of what you get from somebody. You know what I mean. I'm taking what I got from him, and I'm making offspring off trademark with my own vision. You know what I mean? So Cleveland breeders just got to start collabing more. And I thought in the past that it was just XLs. I mean the exotic guys, but I heard from a couple breeders that do XLs a couple days ago to say, man, the XL game, you got the same politics going on with the XLs. You got guys up here, XLs that's competing with each other, and you know what I mean, when they should be collabing. You know what I mean? So we just gotta realize that we come together a little more. We got a lot of nice dogs here in the city that we can make some, some world class dogs, but we gotta swallow our pride and work together. And we can make some shit happen up here. But we canceling each other out because we don't want to show each other recognition, and that's the problem with the city. So it's
One,
plenty of money out here. Everybody can eat in the city if you're putting out a good product. It ain't no sense to put a banana in somebody else's tailpipe um, to hopefully get you a client or two. You know what I mean? Shout some guys out every once in a while. You know what I mean? I can never be seen as anybody's competition in Cleveland because my goal is to help you get a litter. If I was your competition, you come pay me. My goal should be to make you miss the breeding. I get, you know what I mean? I get joy out of seeing you call me in 30 days. Bro, she getting big. You know what I mean? Her titties swelling up. I think she took good looking. That's what I get joy from. So any exotic breeder, they come to me. I'm breeding exotics. I'm trying to help you win, bro. I'm not trying to trip you up and make you miss. No, that's not my goal. I get repeat business by helping people win, getting results. So that's what it's all about in Cleveland. We got to start linking up and stop competing so much. We got enough shit up here. We can all do our thing on a national level and get some recognition up here.
yeah, what you saying is absolutely 100% true.
Yeah.
It don't cost a penny, a nickel, a dime, a quarter, a dollar to shout somebody else out, to let maybe people that follow you
Yeah.
that don't follow this particular person, let them know what you got going on.
Yeah.
It costs zero to support somebody,
Right.
but yet and still people choose not to support. Um, that right there is a big problem, and it doesn't just because you got a dog, you
Right.
may breed exotics, I might breed
Right.
exotics. But guess what? What's going to separate us
Yeah.
and create our own customer lane, in this day and time, you got people that, not only are they buying the dog, but they also are buying into the personality of the person
Right.
behind the dog as
Right.
well.
Right. Right.
So, it's enough money out here. It's enough, if you pet home and dogs, it's enough for everybody,
And,
man.
and and what people don't realize, man, we can make so much more money together in the city because there's been times when I might be expecting a litter, but now I got a buyer that's hitting me up that's got money right now. But if I know you over there on the other side of town got a litter ready to go, even if I want to make a couple dollars, I'm gonna tell the client, hold, or I won't even respond to the client. I'm gonna call you and say, hey, ally, I got a buyer. They ready to get cash in hand. They said they got 2,500 or whatever. You got puppies over there for 2,500. If I send you this lead, shoot me 500. Now, boom, I didn't send you a lead. You didn't made 2,000. You gave me 500. We both ate. I didn't showed you some love. But now on the flip side, now I didn't planted a seed. Now you might not have a litter down the road. Somebody might be hitting you up saying, you got a puppy right now. I got 3,000 on me. No, I don't have one, but Marcus got a litter on the ground. Hit him up. Now you could do the same thing. Hey, Marcus, I got a lead. They got 3,000 a hand. Can you sell them that puppy for 2,500 whatever and send me the low finder's fee? Boom. I done made 25. I'm not about to scare away 3,000 just so I ain't got to give you 500. No, what's 500?
Right.
You know what I mean? So I get in the habit on sending other people plays if I don't have no motion at the moment. And every time I help somebody, man, I swear it's like my phone, like I can go weeks when nobody's calling me and I might just do a good deed for somebody. And next thing you know, my phone start ringing. It's because I've done a good deed and now it comes back around. I was so slow back last summer and I went fishing and I think I caught like 300 fish last summer. I started giving all the homeless people coming up and down the street bags of fish and shit. And it went from like 3 weeks where nobody was coming spending no money. I gave all that fish away. And the next 2 weeks, man, I'm talking phone was ringing. So I made so much money. I was getting scared. You know what I mean? Because it was, you know what I mean? Good things come back around when you do good things. So people canceling each other out with all this evil. You know, we got to start blessing each other, and you're gonna reap the benefits.
Definitely got to put good energy out here,
Yeah,
man,
it
to
come
receive
back.
it.
I've learned that as I got older.
I saw a post by someone on Instagram. Their IG is Southern Wisconsin Bully Mob.
Mm,
Once again, their IG is Southern Wisconsin Bully Mob. I actually reposted their post on my story. The post said, it's 2024.
right.
Stop selling your whole litter with paperwork and breeding rights. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, if you selling your whole litter with paperwork and breeding rights, then you really was just breeding for the money. You know what I mean? You are supposed to breed with the thought in mind of building off of what you did the breeding for. If you selling your whole litter, that means it was just for money. Like as soon as I have a litter, I'm already scanning through the litter of puppies. Like which one are my top three that I need to keep an eye on? Okay, well, these I can possibly potentially have for sale, but I know how these puppies are going to constantly change over the next, 6 to 8 weeks. So even though right now these are my three top, I need to keep an eye on them. But ultimately, whatever turn out to be my top two, top three, I want to keep them close by or keep them in a co-own situation where I can still, have some kind of access to that dog, especially if it's a male. I've done the breed and the tight in my lineup, so down the road, I sell you that dog as my client. In the contract, it should be I should have access if I want to use that stud, to further my program. You got to give me access to breed to that dog. So I'm not just about to be breeding just to off everything and don't ever want to see it again. That's just puppy milling at that point.
Right. What I got out of that, and I understand it, what he's trying to say is,
Hmm.
stop having these litters and putting everything up for sale and selling everything with paperwork just because you want that top dollar amount of selling the puppy with paperwork
Right.
instead of understanding that, hey, every puppy from this litter is not breeding stock.
And that's another thing that goes back to everything's not breeding stock. I've saw stuff that don't represent, like I've made puppies, and a lot of breeders will never have the courage to speak on this, but I've placed puppies plenty of times on Craigslist because I didn't even want them. I just wanted to find them a good home where they ain't got to be thought about being bred. I just felt like that was not going to represent my vision. If it don't represent my vision, I'm not going to put it out there to miss to confuse my clientele on what my vision is. Some dogs don't need to be bred. Some dogs you should place rehome them $200 $300, just a good loving. I just want a good loving parent. You'll have doctors coming to adopt your dog. Some of the richest people I've dealt with have came just wanting a dog to rescue. You know what I mean? They don't want to breed. They take them to get fixed right away. Like I got the dog an appointment to get it neutered. To get it spayed. I'll send you updates over the course of his life. I got people to this day that still emailing me updates on stuff that I've pet home. You know what I mean? That they've made great family dogs. Some of these guys, they want 2 3 thousand for stuff that should have been put down,
Right.
and that just goes to show their their real approach is all about money. It's all about money, and that ain't how it's supposed to be.
On the subject of money,
Yeah.
what kind of money can a breeder in Cleveland expect to make per year breeding dogs?
It's all about the market at the moment. You know what I mean? Everybody going it's and that's what I tell people because I was around when this bully game really first taken off. You got to go back to the roots. This bully game was built on hype. If you look at the German Shepherd breeders, if you look at all of the other breeders around the world, they don't have to talk up their dogs. The top breeders were just people who had the most experience. Oh, I've been breeding quality German Shepherds for 15 years. They got a website and people all over the country go to them. These bullies, you got to talk shit behind them to keep everybody's attention because the crowd is you know what I mean. A lot of the hood guys, the guys that's in the rap and stuff like that. So you got to talk their language sometimes. You know what I mean. You got to hype it up. That's why you be seeing all the gold chains and the cars, dude standing next to a Lamborghini. You know what I mean. And that sometimes I have the customer like, damn, if I invest in him, that bloodline, I can get me a Lamborghini, and it just causes confusion. You know what I mean. So but yeah, we can't just focus on the money gonna come. Um, but you got to focus on the your real vision, which is just to make quality dogs.
All right. In this day and time, with
Yeah.
all of the technological advancements and so many people spending so much time on social media, do you feel as a dog breeder to be able to stay relevant and have a name for yourself and be able to sell dogs in such an oversaturated and competitive market, you have to be active on these social media platforms and you need to be going out to dog shows?
I feel like you definitely got to be active because the clients they you got to keep the client interested. It's they get on social media and like you can have a beautiful stud head to toe, head to tail. But what's on the next slide? Everybody's just swiping all day. It's gonna be another nice. It's people have too many options this day and age. So you got to do something that sets you apart, or at least you know what I mean. Catch the client's attention long enough, to keep them interested in what you got going on. Because like I said, it's just too many options. It's gonna be somebody that's got a prettier colored dog than you. You might have a dog with all the right features. The client might want to use your dog for stud, but they might say, man, if your dog's not a try. Like I missed out on money with trademark on stud fees where they love everything about him, but they need a lilac try. Like they said, the next they breed to's got to be for color, or if he was a Merle, you know what I mean? So it's just you gotta cross your T's and dot your I's in this to get lucky. But you gotta stay relevant on social media. The dog shows are good, but sometimes that's become a lot of politics where you already know who's going to win it before you even attend sometimes. And I've saw that over the years too, with certain shows, and it's been people falling out on social media, where people were getting, called out for intentionally like betting on each other, and paying each other to, for ribbons and stuff. So the dog shows is more to network with other breeders. Sometimes the one that should have won that trophy isn't going to be the one that wins the trophy. You'll hear after a lot of shows, the guy that won first place, everybody's like, man, that dog right there was supposed to win. So you more so just networking with other people with the same, the vision as you, and just getting a little exposure. But yeah, you definitely got to stay relevant in this, or you'll be forgotten. You know what I mean? I took a, I shit, I had to stop breeding for a couple years. I had so much traffic back in 2013 and 15, but then my mom got cancer, and the family was fighting over a house and stuff, and I had to literally damn near place all of my dogs and stop breeding for a few years, save up my money, and then I bought my house, and then I was able to, reboot back in. I was offering the services the whole time, but I had to kind of stop breeding because I had to, save up and, get my own house and get my family to safety. And just in a couple years, man, some people will just forget about you because there's so many, like you said, it's so many people out here. You know what I mean? It's how you going to keep clients interested if you fall off a couple months, a year or two. Somebody else is going to catch their attention. So
Speaking of dog shows, sometimes someone may go to a show and see a dog that they like from pictures on Instagram, but once they see the dog in person at the show, the dog isn't that impressive anymore. Can you breed to a stud dog without physically seeing him in person, only seeing him in pictures or video? Or do you need to see him in person and maybe actually put hands on the stud you have in mind for maybe using in a breed?
unless the stud's got a proven track record that can be verified, I would say I need to see him in person. But I've bred to a couple big name dogs that I never physically got to put my hands on. I spent like $20,000. I still got my Cash App transactions. I bred the Bape with Interstate Bullies, that didn't take. That was 6,500, and then I had to pay like 450 to get the semen shipped. Never saw that dog in person, but I mean, he was one of the top exotics producers of all time. So I got to see his videos. But if it's just like an up and coming stud and it's just some random breeder that's got a nice stud and got a couple, edited pictures, you just setting yourself up for a downfall, because these people can edit these pictures so well. And I think I mentioned on the other show, as you might have to take 1,000 pictures of a dog to get a couple good angles that'll really make the dog look like something. If you look through the camera, a lot of them look like junk, but it's all about the angles. So if you just go off a dog off a couple pictures, you can really get tricked. You know what I mean? That a right angle can make a dog have 10, 15 extra pounds on it. And if you notice, a lot of guys are afraid to turn their stud sideways and show their rear. They got all the dogs sitting down all the time, and then you go wonder when the litter comes out and the rears are bad, hip dysplasia, no, never getting no full tails and stuff, because you just got so captivated off of that front shot and what was going on in the comments. You bought into the hype. So you really want to look over the whole dog completely. And if you can put your hands on the dog, then that'll definitely increase your chances for success. I've always had the mentality that I need to breed to the dog that's in front of me, not necessarily the grandparents. You know what I mean? The great grandparents, ancestors. A lot of guys keep messing up. You know what I mean? I watched a couple of your shows when someone said, a breeder said, yeah, they kept breeding to these dogs with had such and such paperwork, but they kept coming out with long muzzles and and lanky frames because okay, the other dogs in the pedigree might have looked like something, but that physical dog in front of you is lanky with a snippy muzzle, ribs showing, and the mom don't look like nothing. The grandparents might show up one of those puppies out the litter, but typically the parents that's in front of you are how those puppies are going to look, at maturity. So and I know the beginning of how the bullies the exotic started. There was a lot of bulldog put in there, a lot of Frenchie put in there, and the paperwork. You know what I mean? All of these exotics basically have hung paperwork. If you really dig back to the beginning, because in the beginning it was just UKC paperwork. In order to get ABKC paperwork back in the day, you had to take your UKC paperwork, send some pictures, then they would approve or deny it and give you the ABKC. Then you got the ABR and stuff where they would just allow you to, if you had UKC, transfer that over. And sometimes they wouldn't even ask for pictures. So a lot of this stuff, you know what I mean? 10 years ago, these exotics still had American Pit Bull Terrier paperwork. And you can't tell me that you can selectively breed. See, the excuse they used to make in the beginning, why when I got started with it, they said these little short dogs came from selectively breeding American Staffordshire Terriers. So if you keep breeding the Staffordshire Terrier over and over again, you think you're gonna get a 9-inch nano, it's never gonna happen. You had to incorporate some other stuff in there to get this look. And a lot of people were in denial, you know what I mean? I
What
know what's really behind a lot of this stuff. So yeah, it's just a
with
lot of history. We can go on and on
with
forever about this stuff, man.
just to touch on what you just said, why do you what's the big issue in the mirage thing with people just keeping it 100 with what was added to these dogs to create this dog? Okay, this was added to create these dogs, and now we here with these dogs, and these are the
Ray
style of dogs we like, and we gonna start to breed these
Ray
dogs.
Charles can see what the hell was going on behind these bullies. I knew from day one.
You could tell by the
I
features
knew I
of
knew
these
from
dogs.
I knew from day one. See, it was all about who got caught doing it, who did it and got away with it. Now, if you got caught red-handed adding some bulldog into your stuff, oh, you would have been, if it was back then and before Christ, you get stoned. You know what I mean? In the middle of town, you get caught breeding the bulldog. So but it was all about who can do it and not say nothing. And next thing you know, you got thick puppies with wrinkles and rolls, full tails, and no nobody bat an eye. But if they found out that's what you were doing, oh, you all hell would break loose. So people just they're in denial, man. Like these bullies got bulldog behind them. That's why you see the issues. The regular pit bulls never had skin allergies. The regular pit bulls didn't have
Breathing
breathing
issues.
issues. They didn't have underbites. The underbites come from the Frenchies. The underbites come from the English bulldogs, the old English bulldogs, and stuff of that nature. You know what I mean? I was back when that transition. I admit that I was adding that shit in there, but I was up front. I had the balls in the beginning to say this was what I was doing, and a lot of people didn't like it. And it was breeders in Cleveland that was talking so much shit about me back then. And when I told you my mom got cancer and I had to stop breeding, when I was not able to breed, I was looking on Instagram like this motherfucker breeding a bulldog to a bully because he trying to get the girth that I bet. My kennel name was Girth Line. I specialize in them thick dogs, and I'm like, this motherfucker was slandering me on Facebook and shit for years, and now look at him breeding the damn bulldog. And when I came back, all of the breeders that were saying shit about what I was doing, They all start doing it because that's what the customers wanted. They got tired of just they wanted their exotics to have a little thicker, build to them, and they knew the only way they was going to get it was not going to come from selectively keep breeding them dogs they had on their line. They knew they had to add something in there to get that girth. So a lot of people just not honest, man. I keep it 100. I don't care. I didn't mace. I ain't even really trying to toot my own horn, but man, I didn't got everything that I wanted out of the game. I was able to, buy a house, pay off cars, boats and stuff like that. And now I'm just trying to help other people win. You know what I mean? So I can be honest and upfront and say the good things I've done and the bad things I've done, and it's not going to affect me one way or another. So that's why I gotta be honest. A lot of these guys, they're not going to have the courage to say yeah or nay. That's really what's behind. They're going to keep feeding you that lie that oh no, you just keep selectively breeding these two 4-inch snout bullies, and eventually you'll make a nano. It's never going to happen. And the breed, if you talk to them breeders, see, I didn't spend money with thousands of dollars with the big name breeders, and you get on a phone call with them and pick their brain, and they'll even jokingly say, man, these guys are so lost. They just keep on trying to follow what's on the paperwork, and that paperwork sometimes will lead you. It's a roadmap to disaster because you'll be, okay, this dog and this dog, if I breed these pedigrees, that's not even the real dogs on those paperwork. So you're going to be following these two maps and your ass going right off a cliff
And that
because it
that
ain't the real
that's
paperwork.
that's with every class of bully.
That's why you can't just go off of what's on the paper. I don't care if King Kong and Godzilla was in that pedigree as the grandparents. If this dog don't have any Godzilla build to him, I'm not trusting that he's going to produce Godzilla. Godzilla's father looked like Godzilla to a certain extent. His granddad looked like Godzilla. You know what I mean? Just like Arnold Schwarzenegger. He that big. You think his dad had some genetics, you know what I mean? So you could look at certain people's parents and tell, okay, I see where you got your, build from. You build like your father, or you know what I mean? But you can't tell me, oh, these little two skinny pit bulls going if you keep breeding them, they're gonna make you the next level exotic. It's not gonna happen because it's bulldog in there.
It's a breath of fresh air, man,
Yeah.
to have someone actually speak honestly
I get
on
so
that topic
bored, man. My
because
blood be boiling.
I watch so many videos, so many Instagram stories and posts, and like you said, you got all of these people living this lie, man.
Yeah, lie.
This came from selective breeding, like you said, and it's all lies, man. I mean, at this point, I think it should be everybody just be honest.
Yeah.
We know what's in these dogs. I
Yeah.
mean, if you study dogs, I mean,
Yeah.
all breeds of dogs, not just this American bully
Right.
breed,
Right. Right.
you could see certain features
Right.
of different dogs in
Yeah.
the American bully,
Yeah.
in any class of these American bullies, you can see the features, especially when you got people that's breeding, and sometimes those features show a little bit more. But
Right.
once again, they're selling dogs just for money, so they
Right.
might sell a dog over here, even though that dog got dramatic English bulldog
Right. Right.
features.
Right. Right.
It's clear
Right.
to see. So it's just a breath of fresh air,
Yeah,
man,
I,
to get
I
some
ain't got
honesty
nothing
out
to
here.
I ain't got nothing to lose by speaking the truth. I'm not gonna lose any clientele. I mean, if anything, somebody be like, "Oh, he a whistleblower," but I mean, shit, the truth gotta somebody gotta have the balls to say what's really going on. Like I said, I got in when it was just a lot of skinnier style dogs. You know what I mean? Only guy really was already dealing with the right stuff. I would say Dog Pound Bullies Tony. You know what I mean? He was going out of town, bringing in the right stuff, adding those features. You know what I mean to his stock. And you know what I mean. But a lot of guys just had a lot of skinny stuff, and it took years for them to see what the hell was really going on. You know what I mean? So and I'm at the end of the interview, I'm gonna shout out some breeders in the city also.
All right. Have you had a chance to see that fluffy bully that's floating around, on Instagram and on YouTube. I think it was like an orange type of color. What are your thoughts on a fluffy bully? Do you think that's something that's needed or desirable in the bully community right now?
When I first saw those fluffy Frenchies come out, and because I seen how the game is constantly, changing, and people just go on these fad runs and stuff like that, I actually thought about 2 years ago, after that pandemic run, everybody was spending all that money on those damn exotics. I say eventually it's gonna get to the point where everybody gonna have the lilac tries, everybody gonna have the murals, and they're always looking for the next thing to say, I got this, ain't nobody got that. So I don't really care for them, but I was like, man, should I get me a fluffy Frenchie and a bully and start making it so I can be ahead when this come around? But I gotta actually like the dog that I'm feeding, or I'm not. And I just don't really care for it. But I already knew that it was about the they're gonna start breeding them damn things, and give it to like the end of the year next year. The regular bullies ain't gonna be that much hype no more. They're gonna be trying to make fluffy XLs. I'm telling you, the game. If you look back at how this game started, it was always the rappers. You had Corrupt and Andre 3000 and all them, in the magazines and stuff back then, hyping it up. And it's whatever you start seeing, you know what I mean, getting the traction is everybody going to, well, I ain't gonna say everybody, but it's gonna have a lot of people trying to follow a trend, and eventually it's gonna get played out. But I've seen them. I've seen the
No,
fluffy bullies. It's
nah. If you want a fluffy bully, why
And
not
then
just go?
again,
Why?
that goes back to what I said earlier about all of these exotics and shit got hung papers, because we've been breeding bullies since 2009. We've never seen a fluffy bully. So you mean to tell me you about to hand me some ABR, ABKC paperwork, and this shit gonna and this damn dog gonna look like a Pekingese and a exotic bully? Like, come on, man. What kind of paperwork am I getting? Because this fur gene wasn't recessive, ain't just come out of thin air. What they gonna tell you? Oh, but my bullies always had the fluffy gene. Nah, come on, man. Like this,
Yeah,
it's it's
if
it's
you
all a fad, man.
if you want a fluffy bully though, or a fluffy dog, it's so many breeds out here already that's already fluffy,
People
and I
just bad. They
mean,
about to try to put them bows on that motherfucker. It's about to be, hey man, they about to have them fluffy bullies with them elbows and that underbite. It's gonna have underbite, ears done, and bow legs and shit. Nano, nano fluffy.
that's crazy, man. We are the only community, man, and I think that's why this community, we kind of a laughing stock,
Yeah,
to other dog communities, man, because we the only community that accepts and does this type of stuff, man.
and that goes back to like what I was saying earlier about, if you Google like German Shepherd breeders, Labrador retrievers, you go to their page. It's just some happy family that's out in the country that's been raising German Shepherds for 3 decades, and they all of the dogs look the same, and they can sell it. They got the clients. They ain't got to talk no shit. They ain't have to add no color. It's just consistency. A bully breeder that's been breeding a same look for so long, if he don't adapt to what's hyped up at the moment, he'll get left behind. Like, you can't even just stick to your vision sometimes. If you're breeding for money, I would say. Now, if you're just breeding for your own vision and you don't care, like, hey, if ain't nobody buying this and I can't keep it on my yard, I'll just find it a loving home. I'm sure a doctor on Craigslist or Facebook or somebody will come happily adopt it and give it a loving home. But if I'm breeding for money, now I got to see what the customers want. Now it's a supply and demand thing. Okay, they don't want my tall bullies no more, my pockets. Now I got to shrink this down another 3 inches to keep clients coming in. So the bully, you got to keep on adapting to what's going, or you're gonna fall off. it's no way to retain customers if they're not, if they get caught up with something else they see on their Instagram feed, you know. So
How how will we ever be able to call this breed a real breed if you got to keep changing things up to keep
you
up with the
you
pace of what's going on? That means the look of the dog is continually changing. So
you not gonna ever have this become one breed, because I remember back in the beginning, when it was the, you had like Gotti line over there on the West Coast. They were mostly black dogs. You know, they started off with the bows and the short bills, and then over here on the on the East Coast, you had, you know, the standard Razor's Edge. You had Gotti line on the West Coast, and you had Razor's Edge on the East Coast. The East Coast Razor's Edge, you know, there was your standard looking, you know, UKC paperwork dogs with, you know, clean builds, frames, everything. They just like a thicker pit bull, basically, nothing major. Then on the West Coast, you had all them dogs that was showing up on the scene with blocky heads, and when it was basically two rich breeders, you had the West Coast Gotti line and them over there, and they felt like that was the way the bully's supposed to look. And then on the East Coast, you had, I think it was Dave Wilson, and he started his Remy line and all of that stuff. He had that dog Remy, and they couldn't come to terms, you know. So when he got ABKC, he was like, "Man, I ain't accepting y'all Gotti line style of dogs in this." You know what I mean? So that's when all them exotic breeders on the West Coast started making their own registries. You know what I mean? Mr. Miyagi, they was trying to keep George from registering Miyagi with ABKC. They was really fighting it. So they had to start making their own registries. So like I said in the beginning, you had Remy and Gotti, and them guys couldn't come together. So they just both saying they got bullies, but they were like the faces of the shit. Well, we gonna make our own registry, and this what we gonna say is a bully. So it's just, you got to go back to, you know what I mean, to the where it all originated from, and that's why, because it wasn't constructed right from the beginning. It was segregation from day one, you know. And if you couldn't correct it at the source, how you gonna correct it right now? It's gotten too out of hand, I feel like. So people just gonna do their own thing, and you just basically just gotta lock in on what your vision is, and create your put your product out to the, you know, the right group of people, and they're gonna roll with it.
speaking of having a vision and breeding to your own vision, um, kennel blindness or being kennel blind.
Hmm.
Someone may be having their own vision or breeding to their own vision, but at the same time, it could be possible
Yep.
for someone to actually be kennel blind.
Oh yeah.
What what does those terms mean when it relates to dog breeders, kennel blindness or being kennel blind?
It's basically like that one saying, you know, insanity is doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results. And same thing with this kennel blindness. You know, guys come in the game misinformed. They thinking they go out and invest in the cheapest stock of dogs, and then they just, man, I'm about to make this with this. If I feed it Bill Jack, if I feed it, you know, bully, you know, this bully supplement or whatever, it's gonna make it like this. And they weren't educated properly on how genetics work, and you know what I mean. They just get caught up in just making junk, and before you know it, they've been doing it 5 6 years, and all they've created is a bunch of, you know, undesirable dogs. So you just got to realize, if you got to have a vision from the very beginning, and you got to like set goals by this time next year. With these dogs that I'm currently working with, I should be able to produce this. Now, if I go through to that, you know, that goal, and at the end of that time frame, these dogs didn't give me what I wanted. Now you have to really take a sit back and say, are these dogs really going to get me to where I need to be, or do I need the factory reset or go bring in some new blood to, you know what I mean? You got to constantly set goals and deadlines on certain stuff. Otherwise, you find yourself messing with the same stuff and you've got it nowhere. You know what I mean? So just got to constantly keep evaluating what's going on and, reshuffling the cards if necessary.
Let's talk about those gravy train
Oh,
food
man.
dog, those gravy train dog food posts you was making on the podcast. Man, those was hilarious,
I
man.
probably had a couple
What
drinks or got some secondhand smoke or some of that issue too, and
what
had me
what
just
what
talking out the side of my neck.
what inspired I was gonna say what inspired you to make those posts, man? Because
It's that
I know those was hilarious,
that, that,
man.
that issue too, man. I don't know, man. It must have been something that some smoke that had me just stepping out of character. I don't know, man. But no, I be seeing people, man, and they, on Instagram, when you look at their page, they doing, but I've interacted with some of these guys in real life, and I didn't, the city only was so big. You go in the dollar store one day, get some bleach, some cleaning supply, and you see this guy that got X amount of, followers and this and that. And he coming out that motherfucker with some $10, 50-pound bag of dog food. Like, that's what you over there doing? Like, you give me that dog, that shit running right through that dog, man. Like soup. It ain't sticking, just going in one end and out the other. So, you gotta feed, man. You expect these dogs to make you some money. You gotta, you know what I mean? You gotta feed them a quality diet, at the very least. I mean, shit, even $60, $70 worth of dog food. You know what I mean? Shit, we eat $60 worth of food in 2, 3 days, and you know what I mean. Them dogs supposed to be making you the money. Shit, feed them.
Right. I
So,
just had to ask about that,
yeah,
man. I was like, not the gravy train, man.
I was just. I felt like it was gonna get a little traction and shit, make cheer some people up. So it wouldn't. I ain't mean no harm to nobody in general. It just was some shit that just a funny moment, I guess. So
All right, before you get out of
yeah.
here, after breeding for as long as you have been breeding, where do you get the drive and motivation to continue breeding dogs and to be a part of the dog community?
I mean, just because of, the history and all of the ups and downs I've had in this city, and all of the experience I've had, and all the good people, and the experience I've went through. I just I had a dream one day, and it was like, man, when this shit is all said and done, and they get to talking about, what I mean, some of the breeders who stood out in the city based on my history and all that I've been doing, and how long I've been providing these services, and doing, good business, and changing these, a lot of these breeders yards, and building relationships with them. Say, when this shit is all said and done, I just want to at least be mentioned, you know what I mean, as one of the guys that played a good made a good impact in the city. You know what I mean? I got too much that I brought to the city to want to give up and be forgotten. So you know what I mean? It's just like in, with basketball and stuff. You just hope that one day, when they get to talking about dogs when we in our 60s and 70s and shit, and they be like, man, who are some of the dog guys in the city that really did their thing? You know what I mean? Who and I would want to be one of those guys. You know what I mean? Because it's just only right. That's just my vision. It's gonna happen, man. I shout guys out all the time that, you know what I mean. If I were asked 20, 30 years, it's gonna be some breeders up here that I'm gonna have to get a flowers to because they did their thing. That's just me. So
Right.
yeah.
Like you say, hopefully, YouTube is still around
Mm-hmm.
and things like that, and people will be able to go back 20 years from now and yeah, look at these videos
Right.
of these different individuals
Right.
from Cleveland, Ohio,
Right.
and actually be able to see,
Yep. The
the
history.
individuals and the history and the people that was moving and shaking and
Oh yeah.
maybe they got dogs, uh the lineage of their dogs traced back to somebody like you,
Right.
and they could actually put eyes on you and hear your opinions and hear your thoughts
Right.
on and views on different things in the dog game. So like you say, like I mentioned earlier, this is a competitive sport. And,
Right.
by this being a competitive sport, someone like yourself and someone like many other breeders out here, they deserve to get their flowers. They deserve to get a championship ring or
Right.
maybe two championship
Right.
rings. They deserve to have their jersey
Mm-hmm.
up in the bleachers somewhere.
Right. Right. Right.
So at the end of the day, like I say, uh, everybody, I'm trying to give everybody a chance in the city
Yeah.
to, get on the platform and to freely speak their mind and also to, like I said, showcase
Right.
the history and as we move forward, build more history
Right.
through the channel.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like it's only right. It's only right. And then to go back on what you said, my vision is I want to be remembered for, you know what I mean, helping people. You know what I mean? Not necessarily, oh, I made the best dogs, because there's gonna be a lot of nice dogs that's eventually gonna be, showing up on the scene in Cleveland. But I just the people that I've been able to meet, you know what I mean, and help out when they call me 2, 3 o'clock in the morning with a serious emergency, and being able to, you know what I mean, be that person they could call to get them through situation, and be conveniently at their disposal right here in the city. And and especially in the city that's known for doing bad business and people running off with your money and this and that, I can honestly say after all of these years, I'm always by myself, man. I'll be at Walmart, I'll be out in traffic, and people pull up on me and, man, what's up, man? I ain't seen you in 5 years since you lost all that weight, man. You used to do all my dogs and this and that. And you be in Walmart and everybody looking like, who's this guy? And they saying good things. I don't be out in traffic with a ski mask on, hoping somebody don't spot me. Like I want to be, you know what I mean? Remember for looking out for people. You know what I mean? Making good quality dogs gonna come, but my vision to the city is always to help and help people win. I've never tried to play nobody and get over on nobody, and that's why business still to this day keeps coming, because you know what I mean. My truth is I want to see people win. You know what I mean. That's why I made the bully clinic and named it that. People that's doing the same thing I'm doing can trust that when they come to me, I don't have any ill intentions or secret agenda to make them fail. I get my pleasure and joy out of you calling me saying, Marcus, man, that AI, I mean, I got to litter 6, 7, 8 puppies good looking. If I got somebody else that needs you, I'm sending you. I don't got people, oh man, you was hating. You made that's not what I'm about. So I'm trying to hopefully inspire more people in the city to want to take pride in doing good business and start collabing locally. We don't have to keep going out of town every 5 minutes to shit on the next guy. We can come together and they'll start respecting us, because they're going, if they see we don't believe in each other, why they gonna believe in us? They see every time everybody against each other. Let's start collabing, man. Work and do our thing up here.
Once again, man, I appreciate you coming
Yes, sir.
for the show. Every time we get together, it's a
Yep.
great conversation. With that being said, Allied Bullies TV, and we out of here like yesterday.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
This episode of Allied Bullies TV is being brought to you by K9 Super Supplements Puppy Formula. This awesome supplement contains green tripe, goat's milk, biotin, along with 6 other ingredients to promote growth and development, support immunity, digestive health, bone health, and also skin and coat health. Head on over to K9supersupplements.com today and grab yours.